You're now listening. Yo, Tap In Radio.
With one tap, you're in. Only on Tap In Radio.
Hello, ladies and gents.
Greetings and salutations.
Exactly. Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge here on Tap In Radio. I am Jay, and this is
Key. You're not even in the video.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm in this. They can see me on this screen, so I'll move over. But yeah, so happy pre-Snowmageddon again day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm over it. Like, over it. Yay, you are here in early on time.
Care. I don't mind being in my house. All my stuff is there, so.
Word, but, yeah, so, like I was telling Key, my district finally gave us a snow day tomorrow, so like I'll spend my day pretty much still doing schoolwork. So that's how that goes. Like,
I'll be working, but from the comfort of my home.
Yeah, no,
it's all good. I'll take that.
And it was so crazy because they just had a staff, not even a staff meeting, like a grade level, like a house meeting, and the teachers were going in about snow days and having to come back in person, and like they're staunchly against, like, well, you know, the safety of my family is at risk too, and look, it's like, you have exactly
I've been
one.
in school since September.
Okay, and that's
so,
all. And
whatever.
They have exactly one student in class, one. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And we've been in the building too. So it's not like, you're like, okay, am I supposed to feel? Because I don't.
Because I'm like, first of all, there's like 12 feet between me and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So.
More than that. They're at the back of the classroom. Like,
well, yeah,
all the
one
way.
of them I'm teaching in the cafeteria, so.
Oh, yeah, no way.
Like, my kid's talking, I'm like, what? Email me.
Put it in the chat.
Yes.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah. Can't hear what you're saying.
Not at all. Not at all. And not only that, it's just like, we've been in this for some time now, and like we're still hoping that next year becomes like a better situation for us. But will it really? Like, will it really? We say this like every week. Like, will it really? Really?
I don't anticipate it.
No. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Grow up. That's all I can say. Grow up.
And while you're home, you can read some banned books.
Yeah. So, today, we're going to drop a little book knowledge on you all about the kinds of readings or literature that has been banned over the span of time in different school districts and in different years. So, like, some of your literary favorites that you may have come to know or were forced to read, or maybe your kids, cousins, little brother, sister, whomever, are currently reading right now, and it's just like, why? So Key found a really, really, really great website that highlighted all of the books, or all the various kinds of books, and why certain districts banned them, and she's going to share them with us.
Well, this is just classic books. They have a whole list of like newer books and yes, there are some newer books that have been banned.
See?
And I'm like,
you almost died just now. You almost literally died.
There's something going on in this room.
Yeah, you almost died, yo.
Chairs are a little wobbly up in here.
So Bam almost died, y'all.
Death. Yeah, instant death. So, that was almost
yes.
automatic death.
But his cat-like reflexes saved him.
Yes. And yeah, that. Reflexes. I don't know if they were cat-like. It was more like drunk nigga-like. Oh, you know that one. You know drunk people who be so drunk. You know the type of drunk I like? The type of drunk where you like swing at people and miss and fall.
And this is like, but it's like the weirdest, slowest, like.
Yeah, and like completely miss.
How did you think that was gonna land?
And then just fall.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
hurt
like,
themselves.
Yeah.
And it's one of these where they swing and it's just like,
yeah. I like that type of drunk. That's the best.
It's like,
It's
oh,
like,
get him.
because you wake up with bruises, like you got into a fight, but you didn't. You didn't get into no fight. So, and so books that are on the banned list, classic books, and I'm sure some of these books you probably read or probably forced to read. I seriously doubt anybody read some of these books intentionally. Just for leisure.
You know.
Because it was just hard to read books. And of course, number one on the list, as always, Catcher in the Rye.
Who didn't read Catcher in the Rye?
I have never been more upset in my life reading a book. Like, and you know what was really upsetting? The teacher hyped up the book like, oh my God, this book just like won an EGOT. It like won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony. It's just an amazing book.
Because they're probably like they were English majors.
And I'm just like, okay, it's going to be awesome, right?
They see things differently.
And I'm like reading this book and I'm like, nothing's resonating with me. I can't relate to it at all.
Nor will you get this time.
Never. But it had been banned in a lot of school districts because, well, some of them they just removed it. Oh, anti-white and obscene. One district said. Let's see, the language content, which is always an issue. The language that was used in there. I do remember a lot of foul language, so I did appreciate that about the book. Let's see, some districts allowed, in Pittsgrove, New Jersey, the parents could opt in or out whether their children were going to read it.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, some of them, they just removed it. Like I said, excessive vulgar language, sexual scenes, things concerning moral issues like the Bible, excessive violence like Shakespeare, and anything dealing with the occult. Okay.
And that's all from New Jersey?
No, these are different districts.
Oh.
These are different districts, but it's like, unacceptable, obscene, sexual references. And it's really weird. None of these things is what bothered me about this book.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even remember Catcher in the Rye. Like,
good for you.
Like, if I'm being, like, 1,000% honest, like, I don't remember that book. I remember we had to read it, but do I remember it? No.
I do remember a lot of cursing and a lot of controversial scenes, but it was not what bothered me about the book. No. It just was the most... I'd rather watch snails cross the street than read that book again.
Damn.
I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
Okay.
So, but I mean, you're not going to like every book you read.
Right.
But it got so much hype. I'm just thinking, this is going to be like the best book.
But you know what?
It just was not.
That was hype from an adult.
I guess.
From an adult. And we, obviously we were teenagers when we read it. So it's just like the disconnect was very clear. It's to the point where I don't even remember. See? Princess Too Sweet. She don't remember it either.
Good for you.
It's like,
good for you.
I remember the title.
I remember how it ended. I remember how it started, and I remember how it ended because those were the biggest issues to me. But
Spoiler alert.
Sexuality, the premarital sex, the alcohol abuse, the prostitution, the profanity. I don't remember it. Defamatory to minorities, God, women, and the disabled.
So, yes.
And it goes on and on about that one. So, yeah. Next, I don't know if anybody did you read The Grapes of Wrath?
No,
I did not read that one either. But I remember it was 2 English classes, A and B. I believe they read that book and they didn't seem happy about reading it either.
I'm always curious about like who chooses these like I know it's the English department and like the curriculum to which they have to go by, but it's just like, what kids would really like to read? A book that was written in 1910 by like whomever. Mm-hmm. They would really get that one.
To Kill a Mockingbird was
To Kill a Mockingbird was always a good time.
It was.
No. That goes right
If
up
you
there.
actually wanted a fight to happen in class, that is one of the books that you should introduce.
That one and Of Mice and Men.
Yes. Now, I actually liked Of Mice and Men, but I didn't read the book. I saw the movie, and then that's one of those things that I said, dang, I wish I had actually read the book first. Yeah. But the movie was good. But if you want to get into a fight,
oh yeah,
that book right there, Of Mice and Men, Animal Farm. If you want your kids to argue with each other in class, those are the books you go to. I didn't have a big issue with To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, I mean, the movie, if you saw the movie, it was just like the book. The movie did the book justice. Very few movies do that. But, I mean, I guess I didn't have a problem with it because there were some African Americans in it. Some, by meaning two. Two, so some.
The Negroes.
Yes, the Negro. And as always, next, The Color Purple. I did not have to read that.
Neither did I.
I did not have to read that.
Well, also no, that wasn't on the list.
And I know it wasn't gonna be on the list because of the lesbianism and.
No, it wasn't. I went to
rape.
a predominantly white school, so like they weren't gonna shed light.
No, I know
black
that.
author.
I know, especially homosexuality. Now they weren't going to
shine
but
a light
the
on it.
book vastly different from the movie. Of course, Steven Spielberg left a lot out of the movie. A lot out of the movie. But of course, it was banned because of the explicit sex scenes. It was too sexually graphic for a 12-year-old. These are just different districts that why it should not be read. And this has actually been on the ban list for a long time. Sexually and social explicitness. Interesting. Too violent. It's too violent.
But we play video games.
It's too violent. Too violent. Rape and incest portrayed in the book.
Hide your books, y'all. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
I'm like, almost like every Roman or Greek book have some sort of incest.
You have to read Shakespeare. We have to read Shakespeare in like high school, and you can't tell. Like it's like a cherry pick. So
but
we're gonna
the Odyssey. He slept with his mother. He killed his father, right?
No, Othello.
Like, but didn't in the Odyssey he did too? He slept with his mother.
I don't remember that one.
He did. He slept with he killed his father and he slept with his mother.
No, not Othello. I'm thinking about
the
Oedipus.
Odyssey.
And I'm thinking about
is it Oedipus?
Oedipus.
But wasn't Oedipus in the Odyssey? But either which way, he killed his father.
Yeah, he idolized.
And
Oedipus. This is why they have like the Oedipus Rex complex. So like Oedipus, he longed for his mother, and he was jealous of his father. So he did end up killing his father to like, and actually in that he did.
It was the prophecy though.
But he actually like raped his mom. He didn't like. Yeah. He didn't.
They sent him away.
Yeah.
To avoid the prophecy. And ended up
coming back to it. Yeah. It was.
But it was still
very interesting.
It was rape and it was incest, and we had to read that.
Yeah.
And I remember.
But it got deep. But it was like
it did.
I'm gonna be like that was one of I read that over the summer at my college bound program. So like that one was like
it was a lot of layers going on to that one.
Pretty deep.
Yeah,
pretty deep.
That was intense.
It was.
That was intense.
It was.
But we had to read it. But I don't see this any more than Color Purple or Beloved.
Yeah. Beloved was still that's still a heavy one. Like heavy.
It was intense.
Really was. And even though this one's not on the list, The Bluest Eye.
I had and I'll speak for my class. We had the hardest time with that book because it wasn't written in proper English. It was written the way Negroes were speaking at that time, and I couldn't get through it. It was so difficult to understand reading that way. That was our biggest thing, and then when we actually understood the language, we were like, "Oh, wow, that's messed up. That's messed up." But it was written like
in the vernacular,
right? And so what was that book we read? The Scarlet Letter.
I never had to read The Scarlet Letter.
Did you see the movie?
No. I know the concept.
It was
but
written in Old English though, but basically it was written in Old English. And I'm not talking about the malt liquor.
Yeah. Right. Imagine.
It was
Old
written,
English.
It was written in Old English.
Yeah.
So I was like, why are you making me read this?
Yes, because I mean, just like with Shakespeare too. So like, unless you're familiar with Shakespearean literature from what century was that? 17th century. So like, even with that, it's like, okay, some of the words that they used, and like some of the words that they used, and I'm going back to my old self. Like we was like, what does this word mean?
Right.
What does this mean? And the teacher would have to be like, oh, this is another word for blah blah blah. It's like, well, just say. Well, obviously, be like, just say that, but such is not the case. Scarlet Letter was a good movie, but never read the book.
We couldn't get through it when we came back to class. It was summer reading. When we came back to class,
Child Called It. Not familiar. What are you saying? Sorry.
We told the English teacher everybody in there was like we couldn't get through it because it was very difficult to read, and I was just like, I'm 16.
As a solo, I can see that as a solo read. Like I can see that. Like what is the book that is a hard read? And I tried, and this is like my adult self. I cannot think of the book to save my life right now, but when I get back to it, it was a very hard read for me to
well,
get
let's
through.
see. The Lord of the Flies.
No.
1984.
No. Oh, the
Lolita.
The Souls of Black Folk.
The
Souls of Black Folk.
Oh.
I just tried to read that like as a like, oh, you know what? Let me just find some distinguished literature. And I was like, I don't know if I could navigate that one. Just
that was
like,
rough. And I didn't even, and I know what you're talking about. That's rough.
And this is my adult self.
Adults.
Like my adult self.
Adults. No,
so
I get it.
kudos to those
Wow.
who were able to navigate that. And like, I had a conversation with. She was an English teacher. Then she moved up to be a department chair. And I was like, what is a book I could just get
Lord
into?
of the Flies, yeah.
And she was like, no. She's like, Souls of Black Folk. Like, just
so cavalier.
Just so like, yeah, you want to read something good, just read that. And I'm reading like the first 3 pages, like, I need to go back and reread this again because none of this is sinking in. And like, I know I can read and comprehend.
That's a tough book.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's like not going through. Yeah.
Yeah. The Lord of the Flies was sick, but definitely, it was. I saw the movie. It wasn't a book that we read, but when I saw the movie, I was like, Jesus. These kids are savages. Savages. Just savage. But that was okay. Like you said, of Mice and Men, this one, this is up here with, dang.
Mice and Men has like 70 paragraphs as to why this
and the first one that jumped out was the profanity and the use of Jesus Christ.
And you
know that was not acceptable in schools. You were not going to take the Lord's name.
This book was written in moral American times. So like, oh no, you can't have slacks on as a lady, and like you can't put your beds together.
Killing puppies and whatnot.
No way.
No, we don't like that.
Oh, you know what? We did not talk about our disclaimer. So.
What, for what? Barnes and Nobles? All right. Our thoughts and opinions are our own. We do not represent our school districts. If you have any questions regarding any reading list or anything you understand, please reach out to your superintendent, your PTA, or your Board of Education. Thank you.
Nobles.
Because we giving opinions about books we read? Get out of here. Just get on out
Barnes and Nobles. Like those two teacher ladies are book haters. So how dare you have them around our children?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Hating ass book bitches.
Jesus. We on trial.
Yes.
We gonna get canceled.
Yes.
We gonna get canceled.
No.
Here's the fave. A Brave New World, which is oddly similar to what's going on now.
Let me tell you, like,
and I read this.
I read A Brave New World, and that book stuck with me forever. Like I love it.
It's a good book, and I had to read it because
love it.
I was out funeral, whatever. When I came back from North Carolina, I'm pretty sure it was funeral. Mm-hmm. It was the only book left. Everybody else got to pick their books, and I was just like, "How is this the only book left? Shouldn't there be at least like 5 or 6 books left?
Bottom of the
How
barrel
is this the
book.
last book available?
Nobody wanted it.
But I mean, I should still have a pick of books to pick from." And she's like, "I think you'll like it," and I was just like,
I don't think so.
So then I read it, and I was like, "Ooh,
It was really
it was a good book."
and it's so interesting that like it was written so long ago, but a lot of the information is so relevant and has been relevant like for
a long
time.
It's so funny because it blatantly encourages premarital sex in the book.
But
but it's part of their world.
Yeah.
But this is like one of the reasons why it was banned, because it portrays premarital sex as a good thing.
And this was also written when people couldn't sleep in one bed together, so it was like
or there had
twin
to be
beds.
a wood board between you or something like that, because that'll keep you away from the other person.
Meanwhile, y'all getting like jiggy with it in the backseat of like somebody's hoopty, but that's neither hither nor thither.
That's a whole nother conversation. So I'm gonna scroll on.
Animal
Farm.
I've never read that one.
Me either, but I saw the movie, and it now that's up there with Lord of the Flies. It's disturbing.
So it's like
it's disturbing.
Is it like a scary? Or?
Absolutely not. It's not. But if you want to put the political parties in a book, I would say Animal Farm is it.
Really?
I was like, yeah, it's good. Should absolutely, definitely a good read. But it was banned because George Orwell was a communist.
These damn commies writing books.
It said its finding identified the novel on the list of problem books. The reason cited was that Orwell was a communist.
Yeah, he was a commie.
Oh my goodness. Censorship, you know. Okay, wait. Here's a good one. Banned from schools in the United Arab Emirates.
Yes.
Along with 125 others. In 2002, the Ministry of Education banned it on the grounds that it contained written or illustrated material that contradicts Islamic and Arab values. In this text, pictures of alcohol, drinks, pigs, and other indecent images. I don't know why pigs would be indecent, but I guess because they were drinking.
No, well,
I guess.
It's not a good thing.
No.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, so I think the big thing was they thought it was communist. Well, it was communist, but I thought it was a good book. I thought it was a good book. I didn't read it in school, though, surprisingly. I don't know these other ones. As I Lay Dying, William Faulkner, but I know William Faulkner, so I can understand why he's been banned. Profanity and masturbation. I'm gonna have to go read this.
I'm gonna have to go read this.
I'm gonna have to go read this. I know William Faulkner. I do know the name, but I never read As I Lie Dying. Okay. A Farewell to Arms, Ernest Hemingway. I do not like Ernest Hemingway. Never liked him. Didn't like any of his books. Just couldn't get into it. Just could not get into him. But I definitely had to read it. I remember reading Ernest Hemingway. Didn't like it. I was just like, oh my God. Their eyes were watching God. We didn't have to read that, but it is on the banned list. I don't know why. Invisible Man, I don't know. Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison.
That book is literally on my dresser right now.
Yeah.
It's on my dresser.
I've heard about this one.
It's on my dresser right now, and it's interesting because I was like, I'm gonna read this book, and I don't know if you're this kind of person where like I have an infinity for books.
Yes.
And I'll like start reading a book and I won't finish it.
Yep.
And then I'll start reading another book and I'll like won't finish that one. But like I have so many books in my house, so this is one of the books that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have some time. I'm gonna like light my candle and like play some like
drink
jazz,
your tea,
jazz music in the background, saxophone man, and I'm gonna read it. So what was interesting is I started reading the actual Song of Solomon in the Bible.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see like what was the correlation. So it was interesting. It's definitely like a love story.
Really? Because it says the complaints believe that it was degrading to blacks and is sexually explicit. The book is filthy and inappropriate. The novel is filth, trash, and repulsive. I'm definitely going to read this now.
That sounds something like a Karen would say.
I'm going to read that. So,
like
Song of Solomon, Toni Morrison.
Someone understand.
Like I said, I'm not. I know. Obviously, I know Toni Morrison, but I have not had a chance to read that one. Gone with the Wind. I do remember hearing about Gone with the Wind being banned. Anybody who has the time to read Gone with the Wind is you're just. Why would you even put that in anybody's curriculum? The movie itself was 3 hours long.
Please.
4 hours long.
Please.
It was.
Please.
I believe you deserve whatever you get if you watch the movie Gone with the Wind.
Isn't it in black and white?
No, it's not. Is it? No, it was in color. I think it was remastered. I don't remember. I did see the movie and I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe people had to read this book. I don't see why it would be a part of anybody's curriculum though.
Not in this day and age.
Not in any, even then. Like, if I lived through this, I definitely want to read about it. Native Son. Now, that is one I did not read, but obviously I saw the play. I don't see anything wrong with it. Vulgar, profane, sexually explicit. Like, weren't people constantly having sex in Shakespeare and...
Yes.
Yes,
they were.
Like, constantly,
yes, they
right?
Were. Yes, they
cheating
were.
on each other.
But, like, what... Here's my question. Here's to all of that was provided. What kind of books, like what books should we be reading?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Is this like blank pages, or just like everyone got along, even though that's not portrayed in how like the actual world is?
I mean, ABC books. Like I can't.
Someone would probably find issue with that because like, oh, this is only one alphabet.
Right.
How come this isn't? How come this isn't whatever kind of alphabet? So it's just like who we're trying to portray, especially like through education, like, oh, on the up and up, everything is hunky dory, like everything is nice, like there aren't any mistakes, everyone's perfect, and that's not reality.
Right.
That's not reality.
Absolutely.
So like, oh well, it's profanity. Okay.
Yeah.
Some of these kids are like, they live in households where profane language is like a norm. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, so like if my parent says damn, that makes me a bad person, or if I say damn, that makes me a bad person. Like,
well, if you read about it, it makes you a bad person.
Yeah, you can't read it.
Now this I actually like. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I've heard of it.
Good. Mm-hmm. Now, Catcher in the Rye definitely like skipping over the mental illness.
I remember
talking about the mental illness, but One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is blatantly, talking about bestiality, bizarre violence, torture, dismemberment, death, human elimination. I liked it. I can see why they didn't like it, but I actually thought it was a very good read, and even if you don't have time to read it, the movie was very, 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 very good.
So much drama
with Jack Nicholson. Yeah, like it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
It was mental illness at its. Well, oh no! Here, see the charge that the novel glorifies criminal activity, has tendency to corrupt juveniles, and contains descriptions of
are pure, precious baby angels.
Yes, because
it's not the case.
Yeah, I thought it was a good book. I can count on one hand how many books I read that were minority based. Mm-hmm. Not a lot. Mm-hmm. Not a lot. I don't think we read anything that was Latin based, well, Latino based, except for opposite of Romeo and Juliet, Spanish one, was a play.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Nope.
I can't remember it. But that was the only. It don't come to me.
The opposite of Romeo and Juliet.
It was like Romeo and Juliet, but Spanish.
Nope.
Oh my god! You know if I could think of it.
It's gonna bother you until you find it.
That was the only thing that I remember reading Spanish at all. Other than that, definitely didn't read nothing Native American.
Oh no.
That was obscene. Slaughterhouse 5. Heard it. Not familiar with it.
I thought that was a movie.
Well, obviously based on the book. Novel contains and makes references to religious matters. Yeah, I never read it. Never read it. Negative portrayals of women, vulgar, offensive. Whoa, wow, this is long.
Right
Damn,
up there with
of mice and men. That thing was like
paragraph.
yes. Some of these I've never heard of. Yeah, the Lord of the Ring. You know what? I've heard of that one. All the King's Men, The Awakening. Yeah, all these satanic verses. There's a book called Satanic Verses. Sophie's Choice. Nope. A Separate Piece. Nope, never heard of it. Nope. But I bet you I read all them Shakespeare plays.
Right, and the list literally goes on and on and on. So we're gonna post it. We'll post the website link in our on our page, so you guys can check it out. If your kids are reading, like I said, your kids, siblings, cousins, whoever are reading it, you can let them know, like, this book was banned in 1977 because of blah blah blah.
Yep.
But it's definitely interesting. So much drama. That's why we called it So Much Drama in the LBC, because it's just like, yo, like it's not that deep, but apparently a lot of people feel a way about reading, and the kinds of content that you feel like, or that individuals feel like high schoolers should have exposure to, middle school, elementary school should have exposure to. I just want to share a quick story about a book. I used to be a really avid reader when I was young. I was a big fan of The Babysitter's Club, and shout out to Goosebumps, because Goosebumps was like the shit. Okay, like I don't know who didn't read Goosebumps in like the 90s.
I didn't read Goosebumps.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! And then when they turned Goosebumps into a TV show, oh my goodness, so good. So I evolved in my reading. So as you know, I feel, once again, I'm going to use my I statements. It's like a rite of passage for every young woman, urban, who lives like, you know, the urban life, to read at least Fly Girl. Fly Girl, if not The Coldest Winter Ever.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, and she has written part 2. You can pre-order it. Shout out to Sister Soldier, like I know her.
Boom bam.
So you can pre-order that. Winter is out of jail. She is free now, and so go follow her antics. I can't wait to see what happens. But that definitely should have been, Sister Soldier should have been on somebody's reading list, because
Not in school.
why not?
They weren't going, man, please. If they're like giving grief over like the Gone with the Wind, like you,
That
and
was,
like
that deserved to be
snore,
banned.
it's such a snore. But yeah, so I used to read like adult-based books in high school, and so one day, like, I was reading a book or whatever, and like I was at my mom's job, I was at her shop, so I put the book down, and I went about my business, and one of her clients came in and was just like, hey, like, oh, are you reading that? I think it might have been like The Coldest Winter Ever. So my mom was like, no, like that's Jay's book, like she's reading that. And her client was just like, what? How is she reading this book? Do you understand the material that's in there? She shouldn't be reading that. And my mom was like, okay, like, what's the big deal? Like, you know, like, first of all, number one, I'm reading, and I'm reading outside of school. Let's start with that. So, like, number two, you really think that I lack the capacity to understand fiction versus, like, you know, like, to
Mind you,
differentiate.
By the time I was 12, I had seen Richard Pryor stand-ups, like,
Okay, so
all of them.
Needless to say.
So.
Needless to say. So it became like this big thing in my house. And it's just like, you're reading these books? And it's like, oh, so you think I'm going to go out and like start selling drugs from reading it in the book?
Yes.
Or like I'm going to find me like a drug dealer boyfriend and then like have like a bomb-ass leather jacket and like start my life? Come on.
Yes.
So it was just...
That is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. So it was like this whole contentious thing in my house for like a few months after that. Like a few months. It's like, oh, so you're reading these nasty books. Like, you didn't even read the book, so you don't even know what's in the book. Like, you don't even know.
Nasty books. Didn't somebody just die? Jerome Dickey?
He did.
Jerome Dickey.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He did. Books, so.
He did. He did. But I've gotten away from reading those kinds of books anyway. So it's just like, all right, well, obviously that didn't stop me. So like you failed. Still gonna read my books. Yeah. But once I got to college, like reading for leisure kind of took a back seat because I'm like reading for like education. Yeah. So I did say that I have to get back into like leisure reading because I do read, obviously. Like I do read, but I'll start a book and like I'll get halfway through it and I'll stop. Or like I'll pick up another book and I'll get halfway through it and I'll stop. Like I picked up Why Are All the Black Kids Still Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? I want to get through that book. Have I gotten through it? Not at all.
What was the sequel? The sequel to Waiting to Exhale. So that's one that I got like, I literally only had like 15 pages left to read. 15. Put that book down for a year. Came across it in the drawer one day and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I said, you know what? I was on page 48.
Yeah, I had the page was still folded. I was like, this is so sad. Like, how do you get that far? And just so I got a few like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm telling you, it's like I want to get back to that person that finishes books. Yeah. I want to get back to that person because I'm telling you, I'll go to Barnes and Nobles. I love Barnes and Nobles. Like
I do too, but now I just feel like the germs are just like.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while, but like
gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Mm-hmm. But if like I want to say the last book that I read and completed. Like, and I felt really good about myself, was The Alchemist.
Okay.
That was like
Mine was Jambalaya.
Oh, now what was that about? That sounds good.
New Orleans, spirituality, root work, all that kind of stuff. Good book.
I'm interested.
Good book.
I'm interested. Let me know.
Maybe we'll do a book trade.
Yeah.
Swap. Yeah.
That would be dope. That would be dope. Yeah. You know what we should do? We should put in like our favorite books that we've read and like get what everybody else like. What is your favorite book? Let us know on our Instagram page at the Teachers with the Z PC, so we can shout out books and like get to know because shit, we're still in quarantine, so it's not like we're going anywhere. How much Netflix can you really watch? Honestly,
a lot.
I get tired.
I've started watching Vikings now.
Vikings? Is that on Netflix?
It's on Hulu and Amazon Prime.
You know what I've started watching? Black Monday. That's on.
Really?
Yes, you watch it?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Black Monday, like with Don Cheadle. Shout out to Don. I love him. Surprisingly, I do.
I believe The Rock's show came out today.
Oh, like Baby Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Keenan.
I don't think that show was going to do well.
I don't
It just didn't give me the vibe that it was going to last long, but like, no shade, but I just don't see that going well. Either way.
I can't. I probably just watch the Golden Girls. I can't commit that much to. That's my default. If I can't find anything, I just throw the Golden Girls on.
That's your go-to?
Yeah, that's my. You know, those broads were funny. They were funny.
I feel that way about Frasier.
I watched Frasier once. It was okay.
I like.
It was okay.
As a child,
I don't hate it.
It's funny, like Frasier.
It's very dry comedy.
Right,
very dry.
And I was just about to say that. Like, if you're not a fan, I'm
drip dry.
like I love dry. Huh?
Yeah.
But Frasier and Niles and their antics. If you're not a fan of dry humor, it will it will bore you to tears. But I love it. Yo, I still don't.
It was just again, it was one of those one hit zingers. Yeah, but like you know,
No,
it meshed in. Now
he wasn't funny. He still is number one. Like he still has a lot of bread. Yeah.
really, especially residuals.
Yeah.
I mean, another go-to is Married with Children.
Really?
Oh my God, I used to watch that when I was
Al
younger.
Bundy.
Yes.
Never would have
If you
guessed that.
actually watched that show, he liked a lot of Motown. He liked a lot of.
He said at one point that was actually real. That was like, like you served as part of the show.
Yeah.
That was all him. Like he really was into Motown.
Yes.
Well,
Bud's Room had NWA in it.
never paid attention.
Plays on Big Bang Theory as lead character.
I thought Big Bang Theory was canceled.
No, it's done. But I'm saying the person who played Bud, the son.
He was not.
No.
No, you got him confused.
That's the son from Roseanne.
That's the boyfriend.
Yeah.
That was the boyfriend.
Yeah, from Roseanne.
Yeah.
But
Bud hasn't been doing anything.
if you like that, do you watch Modern Family? Because he's on Modern Family.
Kind of, sort of.
I love Modern Family.
It was okay. It was hard for me to follow.
It's dry too.
Yeah.
Modern Family is a dry show.
Yeah.
Like that's a good one, but I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh.
But I was like, they had all kinds of characters on that show, so I could appreciate all kinds of
I
characters.
never I'm telling you, I never Married with Children, and the mom from Married with Children.
Yeah, she was recent. Well, what was she on?
She was on something else.
And Lord, that motorcycle show on FX, Sons of Anarchy.
Nope.
Whole different.
Frasier was hilarious. Exactly.
I couldn't get into it.
Like, if you guys have time,
I get it.
I get it. It's so multi-layered though, but it was dumb because Frasier has so much shit with him. It was ridiculous, but
I have been watching Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Nope, never.
Now that's a staff. That's a staff. I was like, wow, that is a well-oiled machine there. But it's one of them shows you have to actually pay attention to.
Okay.
Like those old movies. Like I remember my aunt would be watching like Casablanca or something, and shit. I'm like, you can't leave. Because if you miss something,
that was in black and
like
white.
if you miss something, you will miss everything.
No.
Like those type of movies, I'm just like, I don't know how you sit here and watch these.
No.
But those type of old classics.
If you want to see it like that, like Downton Abbey and like the other one that was
Luther?
popular, no, it's another one that takes place in that old
Luther was
century
good, though.
time.
He was
that
crazy.
People are talking about now. I can't think of the name of it, but it's on Netflix too. It's another one that has like that old
Was it like
century.
a crime scene?
No.
You know what I was watching? Not Murder, She Wrote. Columbo. He is really funny. Yes, I mean
Columbo.
he's deceased now, but yeah, good.
No.
I remember my mother would watch it, and I was like, why is she watching that? And I'll tell you, you turn into your mother because I was sitting there watching. One thing I will not watch that my mother watched was MASH. Oh my god.
Can't get into it.
No.
Can't
Oh
get
my
jiggy.
goodness, she would watch it too.
Can't get
like,
jiggy with that. Can't get jiggy.
Not at all. So. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. I think those were the older shows.
No, I once again, MASH. None of those.
Yeah, no.
None of
That
those.
was
Like,
hard.
no,
That
can't
was
do it.
hard.
Can't do it. Like
That was hard. Now, like Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie and Gilligan's
Bewitched?
Island.
Gilligan's Island.
I could watch an episode here or there. I could watch Three's Company. I could do it. I could watch Three's Company. It was funny. I did like that show. So, but I like if one of throwbacks. I loved Bewitched, but it was so inconsistent.
My show was I Love Lucy. Like
And I couldn't get into I Love Lucy.
Really?
I couldn't get into her.
What?
Yes.
I Love
Lucy.
I Love Lucy was the shit. The honeymooners was like.
My mother. That's another one my mother would watch. I couldn't. I would watch it with her just so I could stay up, but.
But how do you feel about the Brady Bunch though? Like.
Sometimes.
Some of the episodes.
Sometimes.
It wasn't.
Like, looking at it now as an adult, I'm like, yo, Marsha was a bitch.
Yes.
She was a horrible sister.
Marsha was a Karen.
Like, she was a horrible, hands down sister.
Well,
like,
you know, it was an incestuous relationship between her and the boy, the oldest
that
boy.
wasn't true.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
On the show?
No, like
outside of it.
Oh, yeah, no, I know about that, but I'm talking about that wasn't portrayed on the show.
But like that, they always hinted around that them two had like this like underlying sexual
horrible
chemistry
They
kind of
still
thing.
do, because when they did the HGTV Brady House Over, they was in there. I was like, ew.
Like that's your brother.
I said, ew.
Relax. No,
Yeah, that's
but
one of
yeah,
the shows
no.
that I was just like, But I did like the monkeys.
The what?
Really?
It's racist.
Oh my God, no.
The monkeys.
Yeah.
What's the monkeys?
Oh boy, now why can't I remember his name? He just died recently too. It was like a show where they sang. I want to say it was like a variety show. Yeah, that's what it was. It was more like a variety show.
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Really?
No.
Wow.
'Cause it sounds.
You'll know the
super
name.
racist.
It has nothing to do with. Oh, Davy Jones. I'm sure you've heard his name before.
Like Davy Jones' Locker or something.
No,
like that?
Davy Jones. Well, if you saw the Brady Bunch movie, he was in the movie singing. Did you see the Brady Bunch movie?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like musicals.
No,
So, like,
the Brady Bunch movie.
I like the one from like back in the day.
Like, wasn't it like the 90s, the Brady Bunch
Yeah,
movie?
from back in the day. I saw that exactly one time. Did not commit it to memory. So it's just
But
like,
it was actually funny.
no, didn't commit.
But
it
you'll
to
sit and
memory.
watch the boring ass Brady Bunch. They were boring. They were horrible siblings.
Absolutely.
They were horrible siblings.
Absolutely.
I don't even know how they. That if it wasn't for the maid,
I mean,
like Alice was good, but they were horrible.
yeah, but
Terrible.
no. If I wanna throw it back, I'll do like a Good Times.
Oh,
And
of
I'll
course.
do like a
of course.
what's the other one? 227.
Love 227.
Love 227.
I love Amen too. It was funny.
Oh my gosh, Amen was the show.
It was. Shine on the light from heaven.
Oh
I used to love when it would come on.
gosh,
Yes.
Amen was the show.
Yep.
Well, it looks like our
And
time.
I even watched Different Strokes, but it's okay.
Different strokes with different folks. Yeah, our time is almost up. Different strokes with different folks, but
Yes,
All right.
throwback band books, band TV shows.
yeah. So hit us up on Instagram. Let us know what you're reading right now, so we can like add it to our Teachers Lounge book
To
club.
our books that we will halfway read.
Yeah, I'm gonna get through like 15 pages and just like give
I'll
up
leave
halfway.
15 pages.
Yeah,
Whatever.
life will happen in between this book.
Yes.
It's like I want to be that person again. Like I wonder how she's doing. So,
So, whatever.
all right, y'all. So tune in again with us next week, Wednesday, here in the Teachers Lounge on Tapping Radio from 7 to 8 p.m. Catch us on Instagram at the Teachers with the Z PC.
And be safe.
Yes.
This weather.
Happy Snow Day.
Read while on your snow day. Read a band book.
Right.
Yeah, read a band book.
All right, guys. Thank you.
The Monkeys.